Ambassador Zethkar adjusted his ceremonial robes as the massive viewing screen flickered to life aboard the Galactic Council's flagship. After 3 centuries of careful observation, they had finally deemed the inhabitants of the third planet from Sol mature enough for contact. The species called themselves humans, and according to all projections, they would be appropriately grateful for the opportunity to join galactic civilization. Initiating communication protocols, announced Navigation Officer Vextala, her forearms dancing across the control matrix with practiced precision, broadcasting universal greeting sequence in their dominant languages. The Council had perfected this process over millennia. Approach a primitive species with overwhelming technological superiority, demonstrate benevolence through gifts of knowledge, and gradually integrate them into the lower castes of galactic society. It was civilized. It was efficient. It had never failed. The human response came faster than expected. Unknown vessels. This is Admiral Sarah Chen of Earth Defense Command. You are in violation of sovereign human space. State your intentions immediately or face defensive action. Zethkar's mandibles clicked in amusement. Defensive action? Against ships that could glass their entire planet? He activated the response channel. Greetings, primitive beings. We are the Galactic Council, representatives of 17 star systems and 43 civilized species. We come bearing the gift of advanced knowledge and the opportunity to serve alongside your betters in... The transmission cut off abruptly as energy signatures bloomed across their sensors. Impossible energy signatures. Sir, Vextala's voice carried an edge of confusion. They're launching something. The energy readings don't match our database of primitive nuclear weapons. Through the view screen, Zethkar watched streams of light race toward their formation. The first impact against their forward scout ship sent shock waves through the Council fleet. The scouts' shields that could withstand the output of a small star, flickered and failed. How? Zethkar began, then stopped as he read the tactical display. The human projectiles weren't using fusion or fission. They were somehow weaponizing controlled antimatter annihilation at a scale that should have been impossible for a species that had barely achieved faster-than-light travel. Admiral Chen, he said, his voice now stripped of condescension, perhaps we should discuss... You called us primitive, came the cold response. You offered us the privilege of serving our betters. Here's a counteroffer. The second wave of human weapons struck their command ship. Zethkar felt the deck plates shudder as their shields hemorrhaged energy. Around him, officers scrambled at their stations, their multiple eyes wide with disbelief. Sir, their projectiles are adapting, reported Weapons Officer Kraldeen. Each successive impact is more effective than the last. It's as if they're learning our shield frequencies in real time. Zethkar's blood ran cold. Adaptive weapons technology was theoretical even among the Council's most advanced species. Full retreat. All ships. Emergency jump drives are offline, Vextala announced, her voice hollow. They're broadcasting some kind of interference pattern. Our FTL systems are completely suppressed. On the view screen, Admiral Chen's face appeared. A bipedal mammalian species with predator-forward eyes and an expression that reminded Zethkar uncomfortably of the apex hunters from his homeworld. You made 2 critical errors, she said, her voice carrying the calm certainty of someone accustomed to violence. First, you assumed that a species young enough to still fight wars would be weak. Second, you assumed that because we fight each other, we couldn't unite against a common threat. The tactical display lit up as dozens more human ships dropped out of FTL around the Council fleet. These weren't the crude vessels they'd expected. They were sleek predators armed with weapons that defied everything the Council thought they knew about technological progression. "You see," Chen continued, "humans have been preparing for this moment ever since we detected your surveillance probes 15 years ago. We've been at war with ourselves for millennia, Ambassador. We know exactly what advanced civilizations do to primitive ones because we've done it to each other. The strong subjugate the weak, enslave them, exploit them." Zethkar watched his fleet, 17 of the most advanced warships in the galaxy, being systematically disabled by a species that shouldn't have been able to scratch their paint. "What do you want?" he whispered. Chen's smile revealed her teeth. Flat grinding surfaces flanked by sharp canines, the dental arrangement of an omnivore evolved from hunters. "We want to make a few things clear. First, humans don't serve. We never have, and we never will. Second, any species that approaches us with demands for submission will meet the same response you're receiving now." The last of the Council's escort ships went dark, its crew stunned into unconsciousness by precisely targeted electromagnetic pulses that somehow bypassed every defensive system they possessed. "However," Chen said, her expression softening slightly, "we're not unreasonable. You mentioned having 43 civilized species in your council. We'd like to meet them, as equals. We have technologies to share, perspectives to offer, and we're willing to trade, negotiate, and even cooperate." Zethkar felt something he hadn't experienced in his 3-century lifespan: genuine respect for another species. "And if we refuse, then you'll discover exactly how creative humans can be when it comes to making war." Chen's eyes hardened. "We've spent our entire evolutionary history fighting predators, prey, environment, disease, and each other. We are very, very good at it." The human ships began withdrawing, their movements coordinated with a precision that spoke of countless hours drilling together. As they departed, repair drones emerged from hidden compartments and began restoring the Council ship's critical systems. "Your crews are unharmed," Chen said as her image began to fade. "Your ships will be functional within the hour. Consider this a demonstration of human capabilities and restraint. Next time, try hello instead of surrender." As the view screen went dark, Zethkar slumped into his command chair. Around him, his crew worked in stunned silence, processing what had just occurred. In less than an hour, everything the Galactic Council thought it knew about technological progression, military doctrine, and species development had been shattered by a civilization that had been building weapons since before it could build cities. "Sir," Vextala said quietly, "what are your orders?" Zethkar looked at the tactical display, where human ships were forming a protective perimeter around Sol's system. Not aggressive, but watchful. Waiting. "Set course for Council Prime," he said finally. "And draft a new first contact protocol, one that begins with hello." For the first time in galactic history, the Council would be approaching a species as equals. And despite everything, Zethkar found himself looking forward to the conversation.